Welcome in, Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Hey, good morning, Huntsville, and welcome into another edition of your show. It's Good Morning, Huntsville. We've got a great program lined up for you today. Again, we are here on a Thursday and excited to bring you this edition of Good Morning, Huntsville as we continue to celebrate and promote all things good happening here in our community. A lot to talk about this morning. We are continuing to work out of our remote studio, but a big shout out as always to our good friend Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs, whether it's custom jewelry or brand new pieces. He is the expert here in Huntsville, Texas, and so make sure that you set up an appointment online at elliotsjewelers.com, and you can go by and see him after you set up that appointment at the First National Bank building there on the 4th floor. Elliot is a great man, and he will take unbelievable care of all of your needs. You'll hear a commercial spot sometime throughout this show from me just about how he helped me through a process, and I didn't really understand what I was looking for, but Elliot made everything look great, and most importantly, kept Bridget happy. And so that's the number one thing, is to make sure that she's happy. We want to welcome you in again today. Also, big thank you to Paul Oley of the Gallery, even though we're not in our physical studio, having to work remotely the rest of this week. A big thanks to Paul as well. We appreciate you. And last but certainly not least, on a Thursday, we couldn't bring you this show without our great friends from the Color Bar, and we'll have Chris Rangel joining us here in just a few moments as well. Friends, as we get started, just want to let everybody know, hey, let us know you're out there this morning. Clay Talsworth already chiming in, and many of you also hopping on throughout the various social media streams. Jennifer Augustinetti saying it's Thankful Thursday. I'm thankful for all of God's many blessings, and y'all have a great day. Jennifer, so great to hear from you this morning. And for those of you that are already on the feeds today, if you could, just go ahead and hit that like button and also share and help us to spread the good news that is happening throughout Huntsville, Texas. Well, he is waiting in the background. We're going to bring him on now, our good friend Chris Rangel, chilling and ready to roll. And Chris, thanks for being a little versatile this morning. Good to see you, man. What's going on?
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, it's good to have you. I miss seeing you in person, man. It's your second time being on the show, but Chris is a stylist over at the Color Bar. You're in on Alaska, is that right, man? Tell us what's hopping in on Alaska this morning.
Yes, sir. Right here on the lake in Cedar Point. It's a beautiful little subdivision. It's a gated subdivision. Yeah, man, I got about a 40-minute drive to get into work every morning. But I guess I'm covering for Pablo this morning. I don't. I
Yeah,
told him I'd be
Pablo.
there for him. So.
Pablo was a little under the weather. He was going to be on, and as we do now on the first Thursday, it's typically Justin joining us, and then the rest of the month we get to meet all the great employees and other folks there at the Color Bar, such as yourself. And you and I had such a great show a month ago, man, and really enjoyed getting to know you. But I figured if you're out there on the lake, man, wouldn't you like be on a boat early in the morning before the sun comes up?
Generally, I have a cup of coffee right on the porch. But my dog was running wild this morning, so he's actually sitting here with me right now. So
What
I
kind of
got him,
dog?
finally got him to settle down.
What kind of dog is it, man?
He's a half lab, half Aussie or something shepherd. I don't know. He's a mutt.
See, that's what I love about doing these shows remotely. Yesterday we had Rick and Kay Boning from Tomorrow's Promise on, and Rick had their little pup on yesterday morning as well. So you never know when you're on the remote what you're going to get. So it's a lot of fun. This morning too, it's kind of strange. Previously throughout this week, we've been waking up to very, very cool mornings. We woke up on Monday, and my goodness, we were getting reports from folks out in Crabs Prairie, Tara Burnett, saying it was 37 degrees or so, I believe, or 39. But this morning, as you're waking up in Huntsville, 64 degrees, a little muggy today. Actually, a lot muggy is the humidity.
It's pretty muggy out there. I was outside. It's pretty humid.
Back up to almost 90% humidity this morning, those winds coming out of the south. And today, it's going to be a little warm, 85 degrees. And I lied to folks, and I apologize. We always try to be positive and lift folks up here on the show. And boy, I made a critical mistake. I said, boy, we're done with the 90s. We're not going to hit the 90s anymore. Maybe the upper 80s. Sorry, friends. Saturday, mostly sunny and 91 degrees. So the heat returns on Saturday.
Ooh, all right.
It's good. And some folks I was talking to say the pools are already closing down. We live in an area that has swimming pools, and because of the birth of our son, we only made it to the pool once this year. We were so excited whenever we found out, hey, we're going to come back to Huntsville. Originally, we were going to go back to Georgetown for a while and kind of get settled in there until certain things happened here in Huntsville. But we had to go ahead and just come right back to Huntsville. And I was excited. I said, man, we're going to get in the pool. We're going to have some fun. And then we had our baby boy, Caden. And, when you have a baby, and especially a C-section, you can't really hop in the pool right away. So there was only one pool trip this year. No more pool, Chris, for us.
Oh, man. You had 9 months of it, man. So I guess you missed out.
Yeah, we missed out. Well, Chris, what's been new in your world, man? What's been going on at the Color Bar? What have you been up to? I just wanted to give you an opportunity just to introduce yourself again to folks and let everybody know how things are going there at the Color Bar.
Things are going great. We have a pretty full staff now. We're always looking to bring on new, experienced, great stylists as well. But really promoting the salon, and we've been doing a bit of marketing. Also we're on this show, and we do some other stuff with Chamber. It's really starting to pick up over there. Of course, you have the holidays also, which always keeps us busy. But Justin does a good job of keeping our name out there, and we're always doing stuff out in the community, and just really just putting the Color Bar out in the community, and people's putting that bug in their ear. So next time if they ever thinking about changing the salon or going to a new one, they're always welcome to come in at the Color Bar. And also I've been doing some DJing on the side. Usually around this time of year, the holiday season, it starts to pick up. I do DJing part-time. In fact, shout out to Bonnie's Hideout. I did a little gig over there for the Huntsville class of 77 high school reunion. That was really fun. That was a fun group of people. We had a good time. That's about it. And like I said, my fishing days are coming to an end over here because of the weather. But I'm sure I'll find something to keep myself busy. We got football. I don't know if you saw the ending of the Sam game last night. It was a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah,
I thought they had it.
Man, I was flipping back and forth because I was listening. Of course, we have hometown audio, and so I was listening to Carlos and Brian call the game, and they were doing a great job. And then I flipped back over to the TV side, and and I was like, man, it's just so crazy to see how you did so well. And it's just, I know a lot of folks are upset about the results of the games lately, and everybody, oh, it's a mistake moving up to the FBS and all this. And I get it. I mean, people want to win, and that's understandable. But I heard it best in North Dakota when I was up there. Coach taught me, he said, there's pain in the process.
Yeah.
There is so much pain in the process when you're trying to grow and different things are happening. And so you've got to go through these situations, unfortunately, in life. I put a tweet out yesterday just about, you know, just that pain in the process, and how do you grow, and how do you continue to, or actually I put it on Facebook, and it's like there's pain in the process. How do you grow? How do you build yourself up and not feel beat down, man? And you just have to go through the trials and tribulations. And once you go through that, you look back a year later and you're like, whoa, that's what it's all about, And I'm sure for you in the industry that you're in, you didn't just show up and start cutting hair. I mean, you had to go through a lot of different things,
Oh
and
yeah, it's
I'm
always
sure you
a learning process, and in this industry, you really have to build yourself up. Build a clientele. It's just like any clientele based field or business. You really have to make yourself value to that client, that guest, and so they want to come back. And but at least Sam's competing in the games. Last night I thought they had it. They had that 4th and 18. I was watching it on my phone while I had the Astros on the big TV. But yeah, at least they're putting a fight up. So they're competing. To say the least.
Yeah, they are. One thing that we have, and I have a platform through our sports broadcasting business, and we're really revamping it again. It seems like we're always tweaking and revamping and finding better ways to do things. And I've been teaching a lot of young broadcasters lately. And there's something that I learned too when I was in NDSU is you got to be prepared, man. You have to be prepared. And I'd put something on Twitter yesterday about I was watching the game, and there was some guys that were calling the game on the TV side, and they had mentioned about a player that had just came off the swim team, and I thought that was really cool. And I was thinking about two young men that I've been working with, and I say young, one of them's actually older than me now. But not being hard on him, but I told him, I said, hey man, as a professional, you have to do all the work behind the scenes. You can't just show up and call a game. And I since deleted that tweet because I had a couple of DMs come in like, hey man, what, I said, well, I'm not saying that you're not professional. I'm just saying this on a teaching level, especially to this gentleman that I'm working with right now. I mean, this guy, Chris, is 50 plus years old, and I said, you can't just show up, man. You have to do the research behind the games. And I shared that clip with him last night about this TV analyst that was calling and did his homework. And I said, you have to show up. And I said, you've got to have gratitude through it all. And he was appreciative after I reached back out to him last night and told him that. And so I think that's true for any industry, man. If you really want to succeed and you really want to be professional, and there's areas, man, I'm struggling with every day. I think when I went up to NDSU, that was the biggest thing that they taught me is, I felt like a lot of times that I've always taken a lot of pride in doing the work, and I was always passionate about the work, but there was so much more that I could have done. And so, seeing that last night, and then someone had put out a tweet, I said, man, this guy's right on the money. And so I used that as some teaching material for this one gentleman and another young guy that I'm working with, to say, hey, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that professionals put in the work. Other guys just show up. What's going to help you stand apart in the industry? You've got to put in the work behind the scenes to really be successful. And that's what life's about, man. I'm sure from you, Chris, like I said, you didn't just show up. You can't just show up and start cutting hair, man. You have to do a lot behind the scenes that has gotten you to that professional level. Maybe expand on that a little bit and everything that you kind of had to go through.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was lucky enough to have a mentor early in my career. Of course, now I've been doing it 21 years, but the first year of my career, like I said, I apprenticed under a gentleman named Brian, and he was great. He taught me the basics of customer service, the basics of hair cutting, and touched a little bit on color. It was mostly hair cutting, but then when I moved on, I was seated I worked next to two older gentlemen who were in the business for about 20 years, So I got to, learn from them, and they were constantly, giving me advice and recommendations, and tips to help me in my career. So I've been fortunate to have people that really love to share the knowledge, and because there's a lot of people that aren't like that. There's some people that like to hold their secrets and their formulas and keep them hidden, and don't want you to know what they know. So it's I was fortunate enough to, like I said, work with people who were like to share the knowledge and the wealth.
Yeah, that's great, man. Clay Talsworth over at 0 Degree saying he needs a haircut, by the way,
Oh
Chris.
man, come see us.
So walk
Do a
in
great
over
men's
there,
haircut.
bring in a box of those freeze dried Skittles, and Chris may give you he may give you like $5 off. We'll see, man. Well, anyway, a lot of friends joining us. We'll get to those here in just a few moments. Also on the show today, of course, here on a Thursday with the Color Bar, we appreciate Chris Rangel for joining us and our friends at the Color Bar. We're going to have another great friend from our local VFW post this morning, and really excited. We'll have him on here at the next break. Our good friend Jack Durish, VFW Post 5871, talking about an event that they've got coming up and some opportunities to help out veterans. And so we're really excited to have Jack. He has been a champion for this VFW post. Not to say that other folks in the community haven't, but he has really been active and brought a lot of awareness to the great things that our local VFW is doing for veterans here in the Huntsville area. So we're going to have Jack Durish on in a little bit as well. Friends, do want to remind you, let us know that you're out there this morning. As you're waking up, let us know what you're thankful for as you wake up on a Thursday. Big shout out this morning to Kathy Schweitzer, who's saying good morning, Huntsville. Kathy, it's always great to hear from you. And also Jamie Saucier over at Saucier Woodwork saying good morning as well. Continue to keep those comments coming in. For now, though, we'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. We'll have our national news and hear words from our few sponsors, and we'll be right back after this. Before we take the break, do want to remind you we're giving away $20 again today, and all that you have to do, friends, is text in that keyword CRISP. Again, the keyword is CRISP. Text that in along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line to 936-339-0139. Again, the keyword is CRISP along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll step aside and take a break. Here's national news. Remember, Huntsville, this is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville as we inspire and lift up our community.
USA News, I'm John Schaefer. The U.S. can't confirm the exact number of Americans held by Hamas after their attack on Israel. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan stated that 14 Americans have been killed and at least 20 are currently unaccounted for, though not all are necessarily hostages.
We mourn for all their lives, and we're actively working with Israelis to determine the whereabouts of the missing, including missing American citizens.
President Biden emphasized securing their release is a top priority. The New York civil fraud trial of former President Trump has entered its sixth day. Alan Weisselberg, former CFO of the Trump Organization, testified in Manhattan about inflated property valuations on Trump's financial statements. Michael Cohen, the Trump former lawyer and fixer, is scheduled to testify this week about his work for the former president, which led to his imprisonment. Congressional Republicans are increasingly optimistic they will select a new speaker this week. Representative Mike McCall of Texas says it must be done quickly.
Regardless of your differences, we need to come together and nominate and elect the speaker so we can move forward in a very dangerous time.
The GOP is scheduled to conduct a closed-door vote tomorrow. The leading contenders are House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan. The coal industry's projected closures could result in nearly 1 million job losses by 2050. About 500,000 of these could occur by 2035, averaging around 100 layoffs daily. The Global Energy Monitor's report, which examined 4,300 coal mines globally, predicts the largest job cuts in China and India. And in honor of the pumpkin spice latte's 20th anniversary, Starbucks is introducing special commemorative merchandise. They've teamed up with Kid Super, a Brooklyn-based design collective, to release a limited edition varsity jacket, which features the Starbucks logo, PSL initials, and autumn leaves. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real, aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon. Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget. And as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. Hey, good morning, Huntsville. Back at it here as we're rocking and jamming on a thankful Thursday. We're thankful for Jennifer Augustinetti, who always gives us those phrases every single day. Appreciate you, Jennifer. A lot of other friends from throughout the community already chiming in today. And friends, I got to tell you, man, every morning it's I have the energy to get up every morning and just do this show, and I love it. Not for me, but for this community, because we do get to talk to a lot of great people who are making an incredible difference here in Huntsville, and literally not just in our community, but throughout the county, and some folks even stretching that all the way across the globe. 133 episodes in is what we have it titled, more like 136 or so, and it's awesome to think that here we are, almost 8 months later, And we are continuing to find the goodness in our community. And friends, I think we could go on for years and years and years, and we could always find something good to talk about that's happening in Huntsville. So maybe this morning, the inspirational part of the show and the message is, if you're waking up in a dark place, maybe you feel defeated, you feel beat up. I've been sick for going on since Friday night. And you know what, though? Not going to let that get me down. And so maybe you're in the same boat. You just haven't been feeling well. But friends, this morning, just want you to have that attitude of faith, knowing that you can overcome this. And I say I'll put the Jesus spin on it, because as a believer, I believe that we can do all things through Christ. And so this morning, if you're battling adversity, if you're battling a season in your life and you just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, friends, I want you to hold on to that hope and faith, knowing that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to go through some adversity. And like I was talking to Chris a little bit earlier this morning, saying, sometimes there's pain in the process. Sometimes you may get your feathers ruffled. You may see something, or someone may tell you something and you don't take it the right way. And friends, you just got to move past that and understand that people come at you with compassion and kindness in their heart, and don't take things the wrong way. Let it dust off your back and move on. Especially over the past couple of years, I've been in those situations. And one thing that I've learned through this whole process of just trying to grow, now, man, 40 years old coming up in April, doesn't seem like it, but there's pain in the process, friends. And you just have to focus your energy on the things that are good and give that the most of your time. Don't allow the 1% or even maybe the 10% in your life that's negative 100% of your time. It's not worth it. So I just wanted to toss that at you this morning, and hopefully that'll reach somebody today that is just struggling and hurting. And we want you to know that there are better days ahead, even though you can't see it, even though you can't feel it right now. Trust me, friends, there are absolutely better days ahead. We're going to bring Chris Rangel back on. He's got a little guest. We're going to have Jack Durish hopping on here in just a second. But Chris, man, you've got a guest down there. I saw him walking around.
This is Smokey. Come here.
I love it, man. Smokey?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, man, he's beautiful.
He's wide-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. He got his treat, so he's good to go.
Yeah, you were messaging me earlier, and you said, "Hey, I'm trying to corral the dogs, man." So, I know how that is. We have 2 of them, so it's sometimes it gets a little rowdy. It gets a little rowdy in the Hip household with our 2 pups, man. So,
oh man.
Well, he has patiently been waiting in the background, and we're very excited for the second time as well to be on this show. As we'll welcome in our good friend, Mr. Jack Durish of VFW Post 5871. Jack, you've been on with me since about 6. Boy, I saw you hop on at 6:40 this morning. You have been waiting, hanging out, and you and I had a talk before we went on. But my friend, so great to see you as always.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I just don't want to waste the day. We used to say in the Army, daylight's burning, don't waste it.
Yeah, well, it's a burden this morning, and it's going to be, compared to what we've had, we're not going to complain about it because we had so many 100-degree weather days, but it's going to be a little burning as this week continues on, but thankfully not as bad as it's been. Jack, what have you been up to, my friend? It like I said, it's great to see you again, and just let us know what you've been up to over these past few months.
I just want to tag into something you started saying a short while ago. You're 40, I'm 80, and I got to tell you, I'm thankful for every second of it. The bad as well as the good, because if I take away anything at all, even the bad, the sister of Satan I married the first time, any of it, I'm not going to be here today living in Huntsville with the woman I love, this beautiful home in this community. So no, I'm grateful for every bit of it.
Well, Jack, as always, like I said, great to have you on and joining us this morning. Before we dig in and talk about all the great things happening at the VFW Post here locally, I just wanted to say thank you for being that liaison in the community. I know there's a lot of other folks that are involved and don't want to take away from them, but you have done a tremendous job just being active. I first met you at a chamber breakfast, and you've been at all those breakfasts that I've been at where I've seen you. You've been out in the community. You're promoting the good of the VFW. And I just wanted to say thank you for that, because I think it is a very important organization. Having grown up in the VFW, my dad was a post commander of 5871 in Georgetown. Or no, not 5871. That's you guys. I can't remember the one in Georgetown.
Wait a minute. There's only supposed to be one of us here.
Man, I can't believe that I forgot that. You know what's funny is I still remember their phone number because I used to call it all the time, but I don't remember the post number in Georgetown. But thank you. You know how important is it for you just to be in the community, not for you, but for the organization to have that face, and so folks can understand what's happening with the VFW.
You know, in when we're in the service, especially those of us who served in combat zones, you depend upon each other. And for years after I was out, my wife was bugging me about joining the American Legion or the VFW something. And I resisted until things were going badly for vets with the VA. And there was a lot of publicity about that. And I said, we survive combat by taking care of each other. We're going to survive peace by taking care of each other. And it is a family. The day you leave the service, I don't care if you serve 2 years or 22 years, you suddenly you look around, you go, the family isn't there anymore. And what I learned was in the VFW or the American Legion, DAV, any of those, is that you have that chance again to rebuild that sense of family, of belonging. And when you really need someone there, having someone that went through the same struggles that you went through, that can be really important. And we talk about 22 veterans a day committing suicide. I hate to tell you, but the number's much higher than that, because they don't count suicide by cop. They don't count overdoses unless the person got the drugs from the VA. So there's a lot more than 22 a day going down. And I just wish they'd remember that a permanent solution to a temporary problem is not the answer, and that there is someone there waiting to take your hand and help. And go visit your VA, your VFW, American Legion. We have the Red Wings here in Huntsville. There's a lot of different people around. There's a new group. They even have a residence program, Veterans and Patriots United. And they're helping people, especially the young vets. And one of the things we're doing in our post today is we are really focusing on recruiting young vets. We're even setting up Zoom calls because young vets, they're busy building families, careers, education, and sometimes they don't have the time to get around to a meeting. And so we're simulcasting our meetings on Zoom. They can participate that way. So it's our big push now.
Well, I think it's great to have you on, Jack, this morning as we're joined by Jack Durish of our local VFW Post 5871. 8587, by the way, was the one in Georgetown. It finally popped into my head earlier. So, but Jack, such an important message. Obviously, I wasn't in the military, and that is, in my opinion, the most selfless sacrifice that someone on this earth can make is serving for our country. You've done that, and we appreciate that and support it so much. And, there's a lot of folks that have been through things that are unimaginable. There's stories that my father told me that, I would never repeat, and he doesn't like to talk about them because of what he had to see and what he had to be a part of as part of his duty to serve the country. And so I can only imagine what folks have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And you're right. That's why it's so important to be involved in veteran organizations such as the VFW, so people can talk and they can share stories. Sometimes if we're only in that circle of people that understands where we've been, those are the people that we talk to. You can't just go to someone on the street sometimes and talk about an issue you're having because they have no clue what that is. But when you're in an organization like the VFW Post, you feel comfortable sometimes in that situation of sharing those stories. And Jack, I think that's why it's so important to have you today and continuing to spread the message of the VFW. And as we know, any organization takes financial support to be rooted, to happen. And the VFW has a incredible opportunity coming up. I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk this morning about the Texas Outdoor Adventure Raffle that you guys have organized, Jack.
Well, for the past 7-8 years, we've been having a gun raffle, and the need is much greater today. We never really raised that money, as much money as we needed with that kind of raffle. And we decided we had to do something spectacular, and we did. This is probably the largest raffle ticket you'll ever see. And I see you got the website up. If you scroll down a little bit, you see the raffle ticket, but you can't really see the size of it. It's about the size of a dollar bill or a $20 bill. And we wanted to create a spectacular raffle ticket because it's a spectacular prize. We're only selling 1,000 of these. And with only 3 days of selling under our belt, we've already sold about 20% of them. So these are going quickly, and there's good reason. The prize is a 3-day, 2-night hunting trip on the Storm Ranch in Dripping Springs, Texas, which is about 30 miles west of Austin. And those are some photographs we took when we visited there. It's about a 6,000 acre ranch. The owner, Josh Storm, is a very accommodating, really nice person. I'd like to spend even more time with him. He is, for example, we're saying, and there you can see it. That's the size of the ticket, and it is spectacular because the prize is spectacular. And unlike, say, the lotto, which is a pretty spectacular prize, your odds here are a lot better, 1 in 1,000 for a ticket. And for example, we said, well, what if they don't get their trophy buck when they're here? He said, well, come back. What charge? None. So, he wants to make this a success for us as well. He deeply discounted it. This is a hunting trip for 2. And anybody who's hunted a ranch, or if you go shopping it online, you're going to figure out a hunting trip for 1 is quite a cost to it. And in this case, the winner of this raffle will get to take a friend. And after we got this whole thing set up, I kind of thought about it a moment. And I thought, actually, the winner of this is going to have a problem because he's got to pick one of his hunting buddies to go with him or her. And that could create some problems of their own. So if he doesn't want to face that, he can just go himself and take 2 bucks and he's in. And it's also unlimited hogs, unlimited varmints, bobcats, you name it, whatever that comes across, you can hunt them. One of the things that's not going to be available for this particular hunt, but he's working on for the future, is putting in a projector where you'll be able to see in life size different animals and shoot, and it will actually, with live ammunition, you'll hit the target with live ammunition and see if it was a good kill shot or what have you.
Oh, great.
He's really developing this ranch in a special way. So I think anybody who wins this prize is going to be really happy with it. And like I say, 20% of our tickets are already sold. And that's just, we were sitting out at one store and one day at the Fair on the Square.
Awesome. Well, again, Jack Durish with us here this morning as we are talking about great things happening throughout our community with the VFW post. And friends, as you just heard, 20% of these tickets have already been sold. This is a great way to get away on a weekend adventure. And tickets are available, Jack, I believe, at the Harts Veterans Museum and some other locations. Can you let us know the other locations around town?
I wish I could. Tomorrow we're going to be sitting out at Brookshire Brothers in Huntsville. And then Saturday, there's a special event in Conroe for veterans. So we will be down there for that. It's called Vet Fest. So if there's any veterans tuning into this, get on down to Conroe, look at our website. You can see the information about Vet Fest. Unfortunately, the fellow who is doing the coordinating with the various sites where we sell just came down with COVID.
Oh no!
So I don't know where I'm going to be next week, but I'll be there. And if you check the website, as soon as I have the information, you'll have the information. On the website, it's at vfw5871.org. On the homepage, we have a splash right there advertising the raffle. It'll say, and there'll be a link to the raffle page where you get complete information about the raffle, including where we're sitting out that weekend. So hopefully by Sunday, I'll be able to post where we're going to be next week. And we'll just be doing that week by week until he's well enough to give me the complete schedule. The drawing is scheduled for December the 7th, and hopefully we can do it right here on Good Morning Huntsville.
Awesome. Well, we'd love that. That would be an incredible privilege to announce that, and we'd love to work with you guys on it. Chris, it sounds like this is something that you and I need to get involved in, man. You know, if I get some tickets, you want to go on this weekend excursion with me? Come on, man. Oh, wait, hold on, Chris. I had you muted. Hold on. There we go. Chris, you're down, right?
Oh man, I'd be more excited to go, man. I love to hunt.
Yeah,
It's been a
Chris was
few
talking.
years.
You know, Jack, you probably heard they're waiting. Chris is out on the lake there in Alaska. So, you know, he was, well, you know, it's fishing. He just makes it sound so nonchalant, you know, being out there on the lake. Oh, yeah, you know, I go fishing, do this and that. Jack and I want to know, when are you going to invite us to come hang out, man?
Anytime, man. Anytime. There's not much fishing left. You got a couple of weeks left before this lake gets cold.
Chris, you're a fisherman?
Yes, sir.
Well, if this raffle works as well as we think it will, next spring we're going to do the same kind of raffle for a marlin trip.
Well, yeah, I have yet to be on a marlin trip, but
a lot of people said that. Yeah, I want to go on a marlin trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I grew up fishing on the Galveston Bay, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't hooked much over here on this freshwater fishing. I haven't got it down yet. Years of saltwater fishing, so I'm not going to tell you I'm any good at it.
Yeah, I grew up on the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah, it's a lot different saltwater fishing than this lake fishing. Definitely.
Well, again, appreciate Jack Durish joining us this morning from our local VFW Post 5871. Jack, again, folks can go to VFW5871.org. There is an event link there that you can click on, or even easier, just go to VFW5871.org/raffle is the quick, easy way just to get right to the website. It'll talk about where these tickets are being sold, where these folks will be set up. Again, you can also go to the Hearts Veterans Museum as well. Only 1,000 tickets, but they've already sold 20%, so these will go fast. The drawing scheduled to happen on December the 7th. Tickets, you can get 6 for $100, 3 for $50, or 1 for $20. So if you spend $100, it's like you buy 5 and you get 1 free, Jack. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. And we've had several do it that way. And there's one other thing I don't want to forget, is that all of the funds we raise through this are used to help needy veterans here in our community. We don't send, none of this goes back to our national organization or even the state.
That's good to know.
And this summer was really bad. We all know how hot it was. And a lot of us had air conditioners go out. One of mine went out. Luckily, it's under warranty. But if you look at your air conditioning warranty, you find out parts are paid for, you pay for the labor.
Yep.
And for a switch to be replaced, $1,000, wow, that'll get your attention. And we had one fella, the whole house went down, and it was a Freon system, can't be replaced. So we went out and bought 2 window air conditioners, one of our members had 3 window air conditioners in his barn. And so we loaded up his house with window air conditioners. We've been taking down, branches falling on houses, cars breaking down, or just even somebody walking in with a almost $600 electric bill. And we paid it. No expectation of repayment. We got you covered. You got to get that paid. You got to be able to stay in your home. And that's what we have to do. So we paid, I had to wait until October the 1st to have the time to sit down and fill out all the reports to our state organization of what we did this summer, because I had a stack of them to go through.
Wow. Well, Jack, again, I appreciate you being here with us. Folks can find out more information on the website, VFW5871.org. And if you ever get a chance, friends, and you see Jack in public, stop by, shake his hand, and greet this great man here in our community. He is doing incredible work representing the VFW and, most importantly, helping to bring awareness to the trials and tribulations that veterans face here in our community. There's a lot of folks that need help, and he's doing a great job through the VFW for that. Jack, I did want to ask you a question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
I notice, and I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but I'm going to bring up the question. I noticed some medals back there behind you. Can you let us know a little bit about what some of these medals are? Do you mind doing that?
I thought you were looking at my gnomes.
There was some gnomes back there, Jack. Tell us what you got.
Here's my mortar. Here's my mortar guy.
That's awesome.
And there's my M60 guy.
Oh, there you go.
So my garden gnomes are a little different.
Now, Jack, that target back there, is that like a spitball target? Do you have
that's spitball. I have a 9mm laser cartridge, and I set my phone up with an app to point at that, and it scores me. I can sit there practicing my shooting without wasting a lot of money on ammunition.
I like that.
Getting neighbors all upset. So.
Yeah, that's right. And not risking tearing down the house or anything. So that's good. Let us know.
That right.
Let us know about some of these medals back there, if you don't mind, Jack.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let me just pick this up a bit.
Sure.
Yeah, I got my. That's my accumulation from my time in the service. I started out as an enlisted man, and I spent a year in infantry school to finally become an officer. Went through officer candidate school. That's this little thing here, OCS, which I got to tell you, of all the brass I ever wore, is the worst to clean because it's got all little nooks and crannies. But I was with the 9th Infantry Division. That's that patch right there. I spent some time in strategic communications, expert rifleman. The rest of these they're mostly for service and accomplishments and achievements. I'm not a hero, but I served with a lot of heroes. I had the great honor of helping investigate and document 4 awards of the Medal of Honor.
Wow.
And what really got me when we moved here, the first time I went in the Hearts Museum, I don't know how I spotted this so quickly, but there's a Harley motorcycle up there that's been signed on the tank and the fenders, all by Medal of Honor winners. And it was like, out of all those signatures, my eye went right to Sammy L. Davis. And he was, of the 4 I worked on, he was my absolute favorite. I believe that he deserved it more than anyone. And if you go onto YouTube and you search for Sammy L. Davis, MOH, or just Sammy L. Davis, you'll see him being interviewed. And he is one of the most genuine people, one of the neatest people, somebody you'd really want to sit down and just spend an evening with talking to. So they were the real heroes that I served with. it's just it is an honor. And one thing, and this is something it really helped me learn in my writing, is that you don't celebrate the hero, you celebrate the act. Because heroes are they're just people like you and I. We all make mistakes. We all have our heroic moments, and we all have our moments when we're not so heroic. And you know, you see that in the Bible. You look at the stories of Noah, of Moses, of David, Solomon, the greatest heroes. And they all were human, and they all made big mistakes. And that's what you learn. And you learn that dealing with the heroes in the military. Some of those guys, we had a thing where, you know, once they were going to be recommended for the Medal of Honor, you pulled them off the line, brought them back to the headquarters. Now Samuel Davis, he was in the hospital, but we had a couple of them come back, and these were not what you call garrison troops. These were not spitting polished soldiers. They were very rough around the edges. It was somebody you kept out of sight. Don't let the general stumble on them, you know.
Well, Jack, appreciate you sharing, you know, your stories and just the work that you've done over the years is such a blessing to others. There's one thing too that I wanted to pop up on the screen because you mentioned this a few moments ago. Jack has written several books. Jack, tell us, I believe 5 titles here on Amazon. Can you tell us a little bit about these books and just maybe the thought process and behind them and a little bit more history of the books that you've written?
It's funny, but when I was a kid, I was a Sea Scout. I was a sailor. I was a competitive navigator, got my Coast Guard license at 18. I was basically a licensed master at 18. You could do it that young in those days. And one of the fellows at the Baltimore Yacht Club had bought a boat in Galveston, and he offered me $400 to fly, all expenses paid, fly to Galveston, get the boat, and bring it back to the Baltimore Yacht Club by way of New Orleans, Havana, and then up the East Coast. And we would have been in Havana about 4 months before Castro actually took over the island. And so I missed that trip because when I figured out, you know, I did the navigating and I figured out the time frames, it was like, oh my God, I wouldn't get back to school, my senior year of high school, until about November. And there is no way anybody was going to let me skip 3 months of school. So I did not get to go on that trip. So I wrote this book, and my wife really thought I should write it as a kid making this trip. And I thought, nah, it's not exact, but Cuba, the connection. So I wrote the book about Cuba and Castro, and my fictional, it's historical fiction. It's very accurate in the history. It's just that fictional characters are there so the reader can participate in the history. And once I wrote that, there were certain elements I put in the story that as I started looking at Korea, I went, oh my God, my character has this background with the French, and the French were in Korea, and he could have met, wait a minute, I put this together. So then came the first book in Korean War, second book, Hungarian War, and then the third book is the Castro's Revolution. The next book I'm working on is my Vietnam book, but unfortunately they made me commander of this post, and that's become a full-time job. So my writing has kind of taken a back seat.
Well, no, it's great. I put a link there, Jack, for folks to easily get to that Amazon landing page. Just go to tinyurl.com/Jack Durish. Again, url.com/Jack Durish to purchase those books. If you have an Amazon Kindle available there as well. Jack, anything else you'd like to mention before we let you go today? It's been such an eye-opening show about the VFW and this event coming up and learning even more about you, my friend.
You know, the one thing is that for any veteran out there, I know a lot of veterans hesitate because sometimes these veterans organizations have reputations for we hang out at bars or we even have our own club. And a lot of guys come back with problems with addiction. We meet at the Hearts Veterans Museum. We have a symbiotic relationship with that group. And it works out so wonderfully. They provide us a place to meet. And a lot of us, most of the volunteers up there are members of one veterans organization or another, our group, the American Legion, what have you. And when you go there, it's not just the artifacts, but also you have living museums in those of us who will guide you around that museum and talk to you about our experiences. And so we are a service organization. Most veterans who have any kind of problem end up at the museum. Tara Burnett, the executive director, has everybody in this town on her speed dial. If somebody needs help, she knows who to call. And I really recommend, veterans, if you have any kind of issue, at least start there. It's easy to find. And if you're just in the area, you're resident or passing through, visit that museum. It is a gem. And it's the collection grows every day. If you stand around there one day, you'll see somebody walking in. My dad left this stuff and we don't know what to do with it here. It's incredible how that place grows. And the people who are sitting there waiting for you are veterans. And most of them combat veterans. And it's good for them to talk about it. Like we have the Vietnam Wall up there. I suffered with tremendous survivor's guilt. I could not go to that wall. I could visit Washington. I'd sit in the steps of the Lincoln Memorial crying because I couldn't go to that wall. But through my work helping veterans, I finally felt, I guess I earned the right to. And now I can go to that wall and I can tell you all about it. Because it's a little over a year I spent in Vietnam, that was the year that fully 1/3 of our battle casualties occur. That was during the Tet Offensive. So the Great Tet Offensive of 68. I was there 67 to 68. So it helped heal me helping veterans. And I'm telling, if there's veterans listening to this, come join us. Your family is waiting for you. We will help share whatever load you're carrying. And don't go committing suicide. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Well, Jack,
and by the way, Rob.
Yes, sir.
I had my first son in the pool at 7 days old.
Well, we're far beyond that. He's 3 months now, so I may.
Yeah. Well, you missed it, dude. He could have been a competitive swimmer. My oldest son was.
Well, Jack, thanks so much for being on. Chris, I didn't know briefly if you had a final question or anything that you'd like to say to Jack as well, my friend.
No, I just wanted to thank Jack for all he does in the community. My brother, grandpa, and my father all serve, so I'm the black sheep of the military family.
Hey, they also serve who stand and wait.
So I appreciate everything you're doing, and my grandfather did a lot for his post in Dickinson, so they were members of that. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Jack, again, thanks so much for being on. We'll definitely have you on again, and looking forward to doing that live raffle drawing right here on the show. And we can schedule that with whatever time works for you guys. It doesn't matter. We don't have to do it early in the morning. We could do it on the show, but you and I will get together and hammer out the details on that. And friends, again, go to the VFW website, find out more information on where to get these tickets. VFW5871.org/raffle. Jack, I know we'll see you around town. Keep up the great work, and God bless you, my friend, and thanks for all that you do.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, there he was again, Mr. Jack Durish. Man, what a great guy to have on this morning, Chris. So honored to have.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Anytime that we have our military veterans on and highlighting what not what they're doing in the community, but what they're doing for others in the community is so important. And Jack is a selfless man, and I love his story and his books. I'm looking forward to picking up a copy of that Castro book, man. I was reading while he was chatting. I was kind of reading the overview of that. I was like, this looks pretty interesting. So we'll step aside, friends, one final time. Chris and I will wrap it up when we come back. The show on a Thursday is brought to you by the Color Bar for all of your styling and profiling needs. Good friend Chris Rangel will take good care of you and the staff over at the Color Bar. 2 locations. Yes, they are still in Huntsville. No one's going anywhere in Huntsville, but the new location is open in Conroe as well. Chris and his staff will take excellent care of you. We'll get Chris's information on how you can reach out to him when we come back. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a final break. I do want to remind you that we do have our keyword going. $20 cash coming your way today through Venmo, Cash App, whatever you've got. We'll figure out a way to get it to you. And all you got to do is text in the keyword CRISP along with your name. Again, CRISP along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Big thanks to Randolph Thompson. Randolph, by the way, was chiming in earlier saying since the theme is veterans, Randy here said served 27 years, miss it very much, and would go back in a heartbeat to serve again. Well, Randy Thompson is the owner of Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line, and he is our sponsor, helping us out with our text line every day on the show. Again, text in the keyword CRISP along with your name. Final opportunity to 936-339-0139. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break, one final break, and we'll wrap it up when we come back. Stay with us. It's your show as always. This is Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy, and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
To jam out here on a Thursday, thankful Thursday. Boy, friends, we have so much in Huntsville, Texas to be thankful for, and I want to remind you of that as you're waking up this morning. It's our joy and privilege to bring you this show every single weekday morning. Wouldn't be able to do it without Chris Rangel, who is joining us on the remote from Onalaska here this morning. Chris, what time you got to be at work, man? It's a 40-minute drive. Am I keeping you?
9 a.m. It'll be good. I like to cut it close, anyways.
All right, we're gonna cut it really close. Let's head over to the.
Make Justin a little nervous.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna head over to the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line real quick. We do have our winner for $20 today, and then after that, I know that there's some closing things that I wanted to briefly chat with you. So let's head over to that text line real quick, and we got our winner today. I think it's a new person.
Birdie again.
Hope she didn't fake her name.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Is this Addie?
It is.
Good morning. Addie, I have to say this. Are you okay?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. That's a song. You know that song, right? Have you ever had that before where people...
Yes.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. That's all everybody would sing to me in high school.
Hey, well, sorry, I'm letting the cat out of the bag. My real name isn't Rob, it's Robin, and so I was called Robin Redbreast growing up. So no worries, Addie. So I'm glad to hear you're okay. Hey, thanks so much for texting in. You've won $20 just by texting in this morning, Addie.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that'll get you half a hamburger at Sonic or McDonald's. You know, prices are going up now.
That's right. I might get 1 gallon of gas to get there.
There you go. Addie, I assume you're here in Huntsville, right?
Yes, sir. I'm on the square working.
Where are you at? Where's the business at on the square? Is it okay to ask that?
Sure. I work at Huntsville Abstract and Title.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, we're probably right around the corner whenever we're normally in our regular studio there on University next to the gallery. So, Addie, how did you find out about the show?
Actually, it just popped up on my news feed this morning, and I was like, ooh, a morning show in Huntsville? Cool. I'm going to listen to that.
Awesome. Well, we are, it's funny you said that because we are actually 133 episodes into it. We've been doing it now for about 8 months, so the word is still spreading.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have guests, we feature nonprofits, and Hello Huntsville is a platform all about promoting the good in Huntsville. So we appreciate you, Addie. Real quick, we always ask folks who win on our text line, what are you most thankful for about Huntsville, Texas?
The people. I love the people here in Huntsville. They're so nice and kind and helpful, and that's why I stick around.
Awesome. All right. Well, Addie, congratulations. You're the winner. I'll send you a text from that same line here a little bit later. And if you have Cash App or Venmo or one of those, we can send you the money. I assume, do you have one of those 2 different apps?
I think so.
Okay. If not, I may have to just hand you a crisp $20 bill from Walker County Federal Credit Union.
That's fine.
Yeah, but it won't be for a week. I'm in what do you call it, quarantine right now. I picked up the dreaded have you ever heard of like hand, foot, and mouth in children?
I have.
I've picked that up for my daughter, and I will not show you my feet. Don't worry, but it's not good. And so I am, I'm in quarantine through the weekend. So,
nice. Well, I hope you get better.
Yeah, thanks, Addie. Congratulations, and thanks for texting to win. And join us every single weekday from 7 to 8. If you miss the show, you can always go online and catch up with it. And you can also visit our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com.
Yes, sir. I will do.
All right. God bless you, Addie. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Man, that is awesome, Chris. I love when we have new people on.
That's right.
Like every day, we've been getting new people every day joining this show, and we're almost up to about nearly 650 views or so on average by the end of the show. As
That's
it goes
great,
on
man.
today. So man, really enjoy that.
That's good. That's great. I'm glad to see it's growing. And like I said, it's for the early birds out there. It's a good way to get the news for the local news. For the community. So
the locals. Hey, we'll consider you local too.
I'm a local now, man. 6 months.
Mr. Onalaska, like, oh man, I'm from Onalaska, man. I'm giving you a hard time, Chris. Real quick before we go, I know you got to get to work, man. You got some other news to share with us, some other things that you're working on. Let us know, man.
Oh yeah. So if anybody has any holiday parties this season, I am available for some DJ services, small or large. I just provide music. I don't have any tents or chairs. I've been asked that before. But yeah, I can take care of your Halloween party, Christmas parties, fall festivals. You let me know. I got you covered.
Are you cool with giving your number out or something so folks can reach?
Yeah, so you can go on Facebook. It's Ignite DJ Services. And also I'm on Instagram under DJ Fever. So that's my DJ name. So
hey, and
it didn't age well through the pandemic, but hey.
Dude, do you realize, Chris, that you got the Lord's number in your username there?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you this. 777 is the number of the Lord, man. So you're putting out the good vibes, man.
Well, I was born on the 7th, so there we go.
There you go, man. See, that's something that's working in your spirit. You don't even know it yet, Chris. So get ready, man. So Chris Rangel, DJ Services, go on his Facebook page, like it right now, and let's support local business. Again, facebook.com/DJ Fever 777.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Rob.
I just wanted to throw that out there. I felt like
that was awesome. Burr, burr, burr. You got to get the DJ horn. Burr, burr, burr.
All right, friends. Well, that'll wrap it up here in another great episode. Because of you, friends, we wouldn't be able to bring you this show. Always a great episode whenever we have folks in the community chiming in. And we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Tara Burnett joining us. And Tara, I'm sure that you're okay doing it remotely. I've already talked to Tara, sent her a voicemail, but from the Hearts Veterans Museum, she'll be joining Billy Coffin and I of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. So Tara Burnett hopping back on the show as this week we're having second appearances for a lot of folks. So we're excited about that. Do want to remind you also, friends, if you need your styling and profiling, nobody does it better than the Color Bar. Go by and see Chris. Chris, how can folks get in touch with you at the Color Bar, by the way?
So they can go online, and we also we have online booking. You can go on Color Bar HTX. I'm not exactly sure what the exact website is, but if you just put in Color Bar, it'll give you an option for Conroe or Huntsville. Also, our number is, I don't know the number. I have it saved in my phone, but you can call us, and we have a receptionist that will be glad to get you fixed up and get your appointments booked. So
colorbartx.com. You can schedule the appointment there, or you can call them at 936-439-4972. Chris, that'll wrap it up, man. Thanks for being with us, and I'll let you get to work. You got things to do, man.
All right. I appreciate it, Rob.
All right, brother. God bless you, buddy. Have a great day, man.
Thanks.
And thanks for sharing that pooch with us, man. Old Smokey.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, there he is, Chris Rangel. Friends, as always, we love bringing you this show each and every morning, and be sure to join us again tomorrow morning as we'll continue to uplift and encourage those that watch this show, and most importantly, highlight and promote the good happening here in Huntsville, Texas. I do want to encourage you, if you haven't been to our website, please do so. Go to hellohuntsvilletx.com to stay up to date with the latest happening in our wonderful community. You can also download the Spirit Radio app. It is an online streaming radio station that is focused here on Huntsville, where we play inspiring and uplifting music and messages 24/7, 365. You can hear Focus on the Family programming and a lot more as well. Do want to remind you, too, if you're looking for a church home, please come by and visit us at First Baptist Church. We have Bible studies at 9:30 a.m., and service gets underway at 10:45. It is a harbor of hope. If you're broken, if you're looking for a way out of a situation, maybe you're hurting, like we always talk about on this show, come on Sunday. I guarantee that you will be blessed with a great message from our pastor, Jason Bay. So come on and visit us. I would love to have you as a guest at First Baptist here in Huntsville. No matter where you're at, no matter your denomination, no matter your religion, no matter where you're at in life, friends, come and hear a good word, and we'd love to have you. That'll wrap it up again here on a Thursday, brought to you by the Color Bar. We'll be back at it tomorrow, as we'll have Billy Cawthon joining us from Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We'll also bring in Tara Burnett from Hearts Veterans Museum. We'll see you back at it. Until then, friends, as I end every single broadcast, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So long, friends.